Amenadum, Ukraine, Kakaka, conference Bokwa.
I am Amenadum.
Okay.
Now P.
We have two. Maybe you have another time. Registration material conference bad news name the brief. But I'm giving the area baby out to do.
Yes.
We meet you on target.
I think we exceeded by about 4,000.
Oh, yeah. Really?
So from 75, we got to about 79 something.
79?
Almost 80,000.
80,000 registered voters. Yes. Wow. That's interesting. That's interesting. Now, the last election, I
don't have that statistics.
Okay.
But it's slightly, I think about 60,000.
Oh, about 60,000 Tory.
Yeah.
And how many?
About 53%
of the votes cast.
Yeah.
Wow.
53%.
Wow. Into almost 80,000 should be good news for you.
Yeah, exactly. And by the grace of God, we can do better than before.
Yeah. Wow. Into the conference in Komoba and because of him, we'll go straight to the point.
Okay.
Then there was a press conference. One leader, minority leader, addressed the press conference. Already now, minority members need to one reservations about this whole Agyapa Royalties agreement. What new and what the two Ghana for apart from our down?
I'm the more cage me at the motive. Obi, I'm the damaging can members of the minority, including myself.
If we see say on a simple
occasionally you to say the reasons why are you working out, and reason why you were serious reservations against this very agreement. But and now a patchy when you concrete situation what we stood for. So we felt that there was the need for us to document it at the minimum. The Ghana for Obiatu for document now why we did this for posterity. Now and the leader of minority in Parliament, the Honourable Haruna Idrisu. I was part of his team with Honourable ABA Fuseni. You call party office. Now, young concern is about Agyapa. What you can, you tell me there, Ghana for what what's I said there. Ghana Parliament, you're rising. In fact, on that day now, you're rising, or your 14th of August. And a panel in our scheduled meeting at the Finance Committee at 9 o'clock. The young could deal with this Agyapa agreement. At that time, we don't even have the document. In fact, and a willing and a drain and you be answer the Parliament upon the time so you be 9 will document, but the document was not made available.
Okay.
So the paper 9 o'clock and I got there around 8:30. Then I started protesting. What is this document? I can't just better answer and approve a document, but at least for my own education, I mean read what is there so that Obin Kanumpo there our leading one you should have an idea what it is. So they brought the document and we're going to sit at 9 o'clock and I protested that looking at the content and the voluminous nature of the document, I would disagree. There, you better not say 9:30, 9 o'clock from 8:30 the Misaka document. Now, yet me I consider. Into one moment time kakra, so that I can do some work and get members of the minority be answered to me could read. And
by document you mean the 4 agreements? 4
agreements.
Okay.
In fact, there are 7.
7 agreements.
7 agreements. But there are key ones: relationship agreement, assignment agreement. So you can go through. And they gave 4 hours. Okay, we worked in Kayenshia, even 10. But Parliament on your floor, so there were other things we were doing on the floor. So we managed to have 4 hours.
4 hours at the committee level.
4 hours at Meko Kan and Sanamaba.
And Sanaba committee.
And Sanaba committee, no. So members of Parliament here on minority side in Ibi, we came together. We could read the document. And we had serious reservations. In the committee, and we raised those issues. And it's something been my padam obakacho. In the raising issues in a yenya answers, then we said that it's going to be majority decision. Now what supporting, one support. Here minority, yes, we're voting against it and block.
And this is at the committee level.
Okay. So we said that should the clerk of parliament of the committee, note the minority for yes, we are not part of this agreement. Okay, so it became minority decision. So on your consensus, I carry a consensus. So here now
it became a majority
decision because they are members of the majority. Because one or those in the committee 25, 10. Okay. No one's way 15.
Way 15.
So certainly in any vote they will win the vote, but it's majority decision. And now I'll take you to why. Before I say they're the coffee. So some of the things that we had problems. Number one, abandon the catch there because you have time in tea. Yes, and the woman had more time. Why the indecent haste? Edman onto them. I didn't tell woman hand time. The young fool reading ye. The year major concerns and information in here soon on Fembra. It be some information bit today. One, Aberdeentina company we decided that we're incorporating a tax haven
in Jersey.
The answer of my hand there, they want to take advantage of what do you call it, the double tax agreement. And I'm a tax person, and I said it doesn't. I mentase it because that is not the case. The truth is, Ghana, in the UK, we have a double tax agreement in place. In the UK, Nankasano, Jersey Wakakana a tax haven. In the UK, Nankasano, but my registered company in England, Wales, another ABR, Scotland, and ABB on your tax haven. So on your tax haven, the same double tax agreement applies. And so because we have double tax agreement in place between Ghana and UK, and this double tax agreement I'm talking about just after independence we signed it. So it's been in place for a very long time. And everybody, you can Google it, the DTA between Ghana and the UK existed long ago. So you're able to make good use of the DTA and double tax agreement. It does not arise, even if you decide to incorporate the company in mainland England, not the tax haven.
But you think there are no benefits that would accrue to you
what are the
when you register in Jersey?
There's no benefit. The only benefit the government will have to clarify to them. How will you mean there?
Okay.
Those places, and as we've said, when your places are accountability and transparency only enough, and so there's very little corporate governance. And because corporate governance is near little into most, it is an avenue people you don't see beneficial owners. Until their company or what say, oh, this is the shareholder. Shareholder or bear company offshore bay bien in a scanner from them. It is not a place of transparency or a baby at the cano or the London Sika.
But even when you want to go and list on the stock exchange,
yes, of course,
where transparency is the order of the day. You cannot just say that because I register or I incorporate what just in T, you would hide certain things.
Okay. If you incorporate the company, company be baby about incorporated jurisdiction, about incorporate company. You incorporate the company that jurisdiction, a honor in a ibenya offended, no type of rules. Assume that registered company we're Ghana. Because we have beneficial ownership law and offending, control offending, Registrar General Department, and recently Companies Act here reviewing. There are certain laws, that you have to comply. It's not the same when you register an offshore company. It's not the same. It can never be the same. The kind of scrutiny you go through can never be the same. Let no one deceive you.
Even when you are going to list on the London Stock Exchange.
Of course, because the stock exchange is one leg.
Absolutely,
it's one leg, and a company also the jurisdiction or is another leg. So they are talking of two different legs. So government in the case that's why I'm saying that the issue of double tax agreement there because of double taxation in the government of Ghana it doesn't arise in this case.
So are you by this saying
it doesn't arise in this case?
For all the multinationals that have registered subsidiary companies or their main companies in tax havens like Jersey, because you go to Jersey, Barclays, Stanchart, Tallow, all of those companies subsidiaries or sometimes the main companies. But
have you found out what they do? It's a tax haven. They dodge taxes from there as corporations.
Yeah, but
they do that.
That's a benefit.
But and you think government of Ghana also on dodge tax as a sovereign nation also on dodge tax and think it's good for a government, a sovereign nation. You are the same person you wish you want to make sure the being dodge tax, not make sure that you are taxing in a country. You also want to dodge a tax, and so we should encourage it. Because the government thinks that company A, this is not a corporation. When the will manage affairs of this country to understand it there, this is not a private company. This is a sovereign nation, a country called Ghana. Please. It's in Zama what the company say, for Ghana yet. Because it elevates the risk of the country. Sister Mekachori, Obi, are you aware the European Union, what the Ghana to anti-money laundering list In fact, because of COVID-19, we're postponing implementation to 1st of October. So it means by 1st of October, we'll be on the list. Now, I call into a jurisdiction like a tax haven to register your sovereign wealth fund in a tax haven. It's elevate the risk. It's elevate the risk. At the time that we are catch that by 1st October, you are going to be on the list. And we all know that 1st October, we are going to be on the list. And then you go ahead and register in a tax haven. Okay. And I'm telling you that I'm waiting on the government. Don't make any day. Them same agreement here or can once incorporating a friend in a tax haven jason. So about mainland England regulation or different from a tax haven in only the same tax double tax agreement. Treaties now open to avoid you will get the same thing because we have a double tax agreement in place
with the UK.
Between Ghana and UK, yes. Okay. This is just after independence.
Okay. And that's one first concern.
That's our first concern.
The decision to register in a tax haven.
Number two, company we needed to be able to do due diligence on the company.
On Asempa FM.
Okay. So to do due diligence on the company, you want to know
Asempa FM.
Who are the directors now? Who are the shareholders of the company?
Yeah.
And we need documentary evidence.
At this time? How would you know?
Ghana is in the Ghana Sikina.
Yeah.
Ghana, your friend Mineral Royalties. Who are the directors of the company? To register the company.
Yes.
The year don't cry, you have an interim director.
Absolutely.
So don't you think Parliament of Ghana has the right to know who the directors?
Is that information not public? You don't know?
How do I get it? When we register company, so I want them to give it to us.
They didn't bring that to Parliament.
They didn't. It's after we ask them. So let me come in there. And see this no. Then they brought a document saying that it's change of name document.
Okay.
Change of name document, one time company was registered as Asase. And then a train was a son.
Agyapa.
Then we said that look, this is not enough. You pay more than that.
Okay.
You pay initial capitalization. Okay. Where did you pay it from? We want to know who are the interim directors or the first directors now. What are the understanding or agreement you have with them? All this information, we did not get it. We said, look, that's a first flag. Until we get that information, we are not going to proceed with it. They are discussing. Then we move on.
But I believe the shareholders, it was an oversight because if it's not been floated, you don't get the shareholders.
No, but initially, government of Ghana must own 100%.
Absolutely.
So we want evidence that can prove that the government of Ghana owns 100%. Okay. And you agree with me, it's fair.
Okay.
Ghana must sign or friend then Mineral Royalties in the company. The company name Ghana Japazo on your bizarre. See, or they make sure the baby or first until the Bobo listing it belongs to Ghana 100%. And in the one look it
should be documented.
Yes. So we demanded for those documents.
But the MIIF,
yes,
which bill became an act in 2018.
Yes.
Will make a provision for a board for the Mineral Income Investment Fund.
Correct.
You know the board members, don't you?
No, but the board members they don't own it. I know they don't own it. The board members they are just there performing any duty like any other board member. Okay.
Yes.
But as a different matter.
Okay.
A different matter.
No, because it is MIIF that incorporated the company.
It's an MIIF, not incorporated company.
Yes.
I just all what we are asking for. Give me documentation. Our trade 100% owned by MIIF or government of Ghana.
That's fair.
Very important.
That's fair.
And now I'm not because we are there performing an oversight duty for the people of Ghana, including yourself.
That's fair.
And so we have to make sure. I had my bet now. One case back at no Number 3. Then we go to company Nankasa. Now due diligence issues na tax haven. Then this was that. What do you want to do? I say you were specified mining
companies.
Government of Ghana are entitled to royalties. Them royalties be and the percentage per the constitution or percentages or them are him for them. Now the budget the budget represents 75.6%.
Yes.
Send them 75.6% in Nara. They decided there they be transferred into a company of an Agyapa. The Agyapa or floating war stock exchange 49% or cotton.
Yeah.
Now we keep 51%. It's okay. Maybe said that for how many years? Or I'm doing it in perpetuity.
In perpetuity?
Yes.
Is that what is in the agreement? In perpetuity.
Yes.
Not for the lifetime of the selected mines.
No, in perpetuity. That's the agreement or government document. Okay.
Because I read the amended and the restated agreement.
Where does it say?
Which includes the term of the agreement, and it says it would last for the lifetime of all the 16
what is the lifetime of the
agreement? That was not stated.
Okay.
But it cannot be perpetuity.
No, but the document says perpetuity, and that's what we. And so we wanted to see the prospectus. I remember. Okay, I'm coming there.
Okay.
It was a perpetuity. Infinite. Another Nefanta Crabber Canden. Affable. It asks affable.
Not for the lifetime of the mine. It wasn't affable.
Listen, the agreement. Listen, that's what the agreement said. They should show me. They be on my amount. And so that's why I'm coming there.
Okay, yeah, bro.
So you also say affable. And say affable. Company Kades and it is see affable in perpetuity. And see what is the value of the company. Ghana na transfer your asset in a company numa. Remember, them asset in Oyamina or your asset. You support the national budget in going forward. All the time, all governments will use. Let's say transfer good company, no company in our list. What is the asset value? Advance 1 billion. Let's say then do 1 billion. No documentation, nothing. How do you arrive at 1 billion? No. Tell me how you arrived at the 1 billion, because it is my responsibility. They making sure there. Asset na yeka hwasem no valuation no it is correct. That is fundamental. What is the value of the company? So it's 1 billion. Let me say okay. The only way I'm to menya asset and valuation in there. Maso independently. I satisfy there or 1 billion and par on ye there many information be to the prospectus. Many prospectus now. I will be able to get cash flows of the specified fields. So whatever years are our prospectus. And I need that so that Mankasa independently me to my share the cash flows in them I can discount it to present value using a discount rate or acceptable in the prospectus. And anybody can do this. In some of the margin the company or cost 1 cedi into some 49% in that or cost what's the prospectus and they can't give it to us because on market sensitive. So what are you talking
about? Because on your ready. So you think there, government of Ghana, members of parliament, the elected representative of the people, one asset and I should not independently verify that is the value of the company. But ready. But so it's not that when it's ready they will furnish the house with the prospectus.
After we could no what another day. After what could say on your good price before what will I do?
You have to prepare the prospectus before you list. You cannot list without a prospectus.
Look, you have to prepare the prospectus before you list. But we deserve to know at least the terms of the prospectus. And tell me they're trying the cash flow. So give me the cash flow. If you can't give me the prospectus, then give me the cash flow statement so I can independently verify. Cash flow statement your catch on conference so I offer 3 years cash flow. But you didn't tell me that you are using 3 years for valuation. He said yes, but I can't give you the rest.
All these were answers that
answers. We discussed it. Yes, at the committee, I'm telling you. And yesterday, on the Saturday, there was a news for engagement. The deputy minister was there, and I discussed this thing. He was there. He can't lie. I said we need it. Only 3 years. We want more than that. We want throughout the entire life
of all the mining leases.
Of the mining leases, and then give us the assumptions underpinning those cash flow for forecast, so that I can independently do my work. Then assumptions say you can once me. Cash flow is the more without any assumptions. So how do I verify what is done? Basically, the board. So 3 years is not enough. That's not what we are looking for. So please give it to us. Apart from that, yes, okay. So what is the dividend policy? Company what is the dividend policy? And don't you think it's the right question?
It's a good question.
It's a good question.
But timing is also important.
Timing of what?
Timing of the request.
Timing of the request. I've done memo approval. na folk Ghana sike nara mineral royalties gold no home royalties ye ni na focus ahoba na mom de mama bi sa ho asam e ba ya na me da mo rubber stamp
gold royalties from 16 companies.
16 companies out of how many? Hinds one fan ho.
Oh, na say
hinds na oil substantial
40.
but hinds na oil substantial sika mo nka ho. Please hinds na oil substantial yen sika wo ma one fan ka ho. Do oil cash cow na wala ka ho. So the substantial mining leases ni na ka ho. They should tell me one on ka ho on your substantial. Abani o peske de ya. Ni na ka ho.
In the dividend policy, what's it then?
Dividend policy also our manifesto no of mobile manifesto prospectus no into also or then unto want to share for now. So clearly in a ban ye to mu there a ban we decided there or hide it or yet document be. So all of this we felt that
now previous euro bonds how ya no so what they by parliament for approval they come with prospectus.
Yes, what did my parliament? We discuss it. When I was there, we'll give it out. We discuss it. Details.
Okay.
But you be said them document now don't unfair my hand and documents you be signed on me them more document and we've documented this for the first time and it's important that you be documented them in Zambia ya kan wasemi. Inti odu wana yaka the valuation no issue no. Yes no. Valuation no. Yankasa independently. So one firm heno krana yankasa ye asset in the valuation. So simple put, abane sende on average when you're 150 million US dollars.
Yeah.
Per annum.
From mineral royalties annually.
Per annum. Yes, it is quite conservative, but it pays to be conservative. So they decided to be. And you are saying that you are going to use 75.6% of that amount. So we are talking of approximately $113 million. Okay?
Yeah.
Okay. And assuming there a typical...
So a banker there, on the average, $150 million from royalties, no? Or you're from all the 42 mining leases and added the 16.
What's in there for the specified leasing?
For the 16, okay.
150 million.
Fair.
So if it's going to be 150 million, and 150 million and then 75.6%, you can do the math, is 113. So 113, if for instance today, you are saying that in perpetuity, let's say discounting at a discount rate of 5%, we are coming at a valuation of 3.7 billion.
Okay, 3.7 billion.
3.7 billion.
By how many years? Over how many years?
No, in perpetuity. So you do discount it to this rate, and then let me tell you. Then another option is
no, by perpetuity. Then how many years?
Okay, so there's a formula.
Okay,
there's a formula that finance people apply.
Okay,
so we can go through the formula. Then
what I'm thinking there, it will be on the average age of the mining.
Okay, then I'm coming there. So an average age of a mining is let's say 15 years.
Yeah.
So we come to the 15 years. So another option, we'll look at the 15 years.
Yeah.
15 years, you use a discount rate of 5%, then it is going to give you 2 billion. 2 billion.
Yeah.
So 2 billion, how come you are using 1 billion for valuation and selling 49% for
the 1 billion
of 1 billion to give me 500 million? So straight away, there's something amiss. It says, look, your valuation, I disagree with you, and that is why I'm requesting for the cash flow statement. So since you are not giving me, but you have told me it's 150 million, I can do some work with that. So me independently, Obi said discount rate in the crowd, so reduce from 5% to 3% a different matter. But let me even use the conventional discount rate of 5%. Clearly, this government were undervalue state asset. So when Obi said, so what is the difference between the zero offend and aban net valuation of $1 billion and independent valuation? And I'm not the only one doing this. A lot of people have done their own.
Yeah, I've seen Imani
they've come out with 3.7
billion.
And they also did it in perpetuity. But and I agree with them. This is 3.6 something. I round it up to 3.7. It's the same. And what we are saying is simple. Say Pede used 15 years in a cramp now. It is far more than what Abana Kamasam.
You see saying on Agyapa FM.
What is the difference between the back of the envelope calculation and another calculation of BRIN and a Woodzi? Is it because there's a hidden cost you don't want to tell us? We want to know the transaction cost. So far, what's the transaction cost? Abandon there or what prospectus no more is when it's ready, we'll give it to you. So you want members of parliament to approve something that we don't know how much is going to cost the state. Transaction cost. Who are those involved? In the document, we saw a couple of names. We saw White and Case. We saw Africa Legal Center, Associate.
Betty Encher.
We saw them. So we asked you, so far, how much have you spent? Us and there, we spent about $2 million.
One normal demo information.
Honorable Dubois gave to us.
That's the Deputy Minister of Finance. Oba before the committee.
Yes. This is an official information he gave to us. And I said, look, from the information we are picking from our sources, he said the $5 million you have paid. He said, look, he can only say that so far they have paid $2 million. I said, can we have how much it's going to cost us? We don't know.
On one far document.
One far document to be ambrahin. So there are so many unanswered questions. So many of them. You be saying, Fatima Hena.
You could see on Agyapa FM.
Then we came to other issues, on the fiscal issues. Fiscal issues. And let me start from the off-budget transaction issues that we are talking about. The off-budget transaction, you had it. It's the actually about the catcher and there. Sikanaba, what the buyer and Zamabi 1, 2, 3.
Education and some sectors.
Ghana, you're operating a budget, isn't it?
Yes.
Budgeting has the Appropriations Act. But Obi, Obayo Hunde, budget na aban order parliament. 2020 budget. I will read in December last year. And even the supplementary budget, you pass it, just a couple of weeks ago, about 3-4 weeks ago. There was nowhere aban okay or offenders
or
list another obenisika $500 million now or the so it is not in the budget. It's not in the budget. There's no expenditure line over catch them or could you be a second or buy the margin. So or after total. So are you telling me that as a government I anticipate the men's nara now financial budget in Brashebo Yambo Aiden Yanni Widuma and San Rabana?
You could see saying on Agyapa FM.
What are they telling us? That is a question. Apart from that, Yawaha time finance minister over parliament. In the time of COVID or number of statements to parliament.
Yes.
One come have some. Number document now oko IMF there. What oko can if you IMF before a offended document now offended Article 4 documented no simu ho baby there obey mineral monetization of the mineral royalties. Number what oko IMF sikano we you film that one monetize BB and film. So Mr. Honda what sort of inconsistencies is this? Parliament of Ghana is not aware. The budget statement na ya kan asem no obi anyimo ho. Na bedinti na ban or the BB demolish or the small budget appropriations no cramp kan ho. Sikeba na so another project they are going to exceed appropriations. That in itself you have exceeded appropriations outside what Parliament has approved. So there's a problem. On intention. Yawaha
but sikane bana will be used to them whether them agreement about parliament no won't they still have to come back to you for approval?
No, yeah, media review yeah approve so yeah media review supplementary budget na yewi so I've been approval.
So are you saying
you have no other window?
Are you saying after all the approval?
Yes.
Now government will hear some loan be free baby our international loan. Now order by parliament no approval. They find a project loan they cannot use it.
Yes, let me tell you. In the budget statement, say budget no more.
Yeah.
Look at the appendices. When the project loan, amount of money about to add this best.
Okay.
And to say in the envelope, not able to add this best with 2 billion. You cannot exceed 2
that.
billion. So don't find what the number of loans about but draw down now this best should not exceed it because exceed appropriation, exceed fiscal deficit and other government targets in the you exceed it. That's where the problem is. So you cannot. Particularly when you finish with your media review, a review budget, any new projections now end the year with it. So what are they telling us? I don't agree. It's not in the budget. Somebody should tell me somewhere in the 2020 budget, the original one and the supplementary estimate.
What if they are putting the building blocks up doing the necessary preparation. So maybe next year they list next year proper.
But on Chabana one can generate next year over list. Ebia one bring them. But what's in the
on Asempa FM.
Abano so oko that no justification do pentama ko market wa ko discuss this year. One can next year. Also pentama ko discuss this year say na. This is what they are saying. Name send the ko discuss the bed and nyama wa keke no afterthought. Oni budget him. Aban parliament approve bibi amon. They don't to China. They said in Breaka Cree Energy Sector Levies Act I securitize. Yeah. The bauxite, bauxite that come assign no hydro. It's gone. Securitarization na bia. That kwaja I could see our friend Awa. Only a tree. Yeah. Inti don't call a friend as energy sector levies. Oko. At the bauxite. Oko. At the get fund. Once the cow benyano is also the kusa one and the same view. Asanso. Back at the year now only enough in the mineral royalties so called. If I get for a road fund SNDC within our for 2 years. I best 10 for another 3 years to Ghana Commercial Bank. Which are the revenue streams in Nara. It didn't all revenue streams. In the successive government view have been revenue between the run of money.
You could see saying on
remedial review carefully. Debt servicing plus compensation. Or 155% of domestic revenue. What it means in there, Sagana, yen domestic revenue is 60 billion. You will need 91 billion cedis and send it to that service with debt. Now it my domestic revenue yala all kufumen. It more. Not a consuming in Dankote. Why don't you smoothen your consumption over the period? Cost of Dankote. That is a major concern. So we felt that don't kodi abano wa shada ina oyeden ori the madiana and obi mamaka semitro. The mineral income fund, mineral income and investment fund. Oye offended then we replace the mineral development fund from 2020 no.
Yeah.
Aban when to one policy biara and chirahen there are certain beneficiaries or mineral development fund with those beneficiaries including traditional authorities. How about fado no will continue what you want second. Otherwise, I thought today this was an opportunity for government to assure them and to tell us there or assure parliament that the mokwane no bafado. Since mineral development fund,
the government says even with the Agyapa deal no the 75.6% say Emma district assemblies na traditional authorities wonder ma okay is the 75.6%.
Okay. First in your mineral development fund.
Yes.
Wana would share them second if you
Yes.
CCI mineral income investment fund will take over. One children a kwana obafado we share them traditional authorities. So we deserve to know.
But when you were approving the MIIF Act, no?
Yes.
What was in there?
You see, the SPV, no? Okay, it's there. SPV, no?
Yes.
The SPV only talks about the Oboka Kweden, Obo used as a vehicle, or Dajiska. But we would have thought today, after coming out, now SPV, you going to listen.
Yeah.
No one will be responsible. They will go to your traditional authorities.
Absolutely.
So I would have thought then, Kaban, Obafa Kwanibido. No assurances. No and how Obutum will use a vehicle to be able to do that kind of job.
To carry the traditional authorities and the different assemblies. And you don't have that information?
We don't have it. I don't have that information. And that's what we're asking. And we ask those questions. Up to date, we have not gotten answers. I needed some answers.
You could see saying on Asempa FM.
Then, after that, there are some few questions also on your friend and family and friends issues and conflict of
interest.
Yes.
Family and friends on the morning.
Mamen Kasamicho. And say it's a friend and weekend honorable Dubois in our Kassan.
Yeah.
What you tell me there a friend and our senior minister the ban or qualified. They beside the look. It's not about whether he qualifies or not.
Asempa FM.
I've been selection process. Let's subjecting into it.
MIIF engaged an international recruitment agency. Yes. You don't know.
We don't know. How that catch him in the Nyandan Kaminim?
No, Gabi said it here. Not
No, but it's Gabi, the Minister of Finance. On the initiative.
He's a transaction advisor.
He shouldn't be the one. I know to tell me.
I know where.
The Minister of Finance sat before us, and I asked him a question. The Deputy Minister of Finance with a technical team. He said,
who did the recruitment?
We want to know, and we deserve to know. This is Parliament of Ghana. So Aben competitive selection process no
say on Asempa FM.
And who is that international recruitment firm? So that we can independently verify. We will verify some of these things. We write to them. If they are a recruitment firm, they have to come and give us answers. We write to them. If I get their name, I'll show you. I'll write to them and find out, because we want to get to the bottom of this matter. And the Abubo the midini ewi aben kwa no fado abeduma pana papa ne ba no oye offended Kofi Safomafo okwa akoye together with the board to the extent there them offended then CEO now was selected to the board, irrespective of their performance, they are guaranteed employment forever.
Okay, so, and I believe you are referring to the lack of control from the majority shareholder.
Yes.
In removing,
of course,
replacing board members, directors, and all of that.
And we want to know the remuneration, the salary package, and all of that. For them.
For the fund manager, for the CEO, and them. Yes. Are you not running ahead of yourself? Them may even there. Do you believe honestly that they can hide?
Wafan.
Yes, at least
one in this cannot be to
the taxes of the Ghanaian people.
Exactly. And you think as parliament, sovereign parliament of Ghana, I oversight on Ghana Sika expenditure. Remember in visa, the Yimpana or Koreans Canadon, then we is going to be chair. Remember, the Sikano Swan can sell the water Brian, yes, and Kanakasi. So we want to know how the money has been used. In the same way, to be Sabade. At what salary are our public? Nyagan is going to do what do you so we have to know. Remuneration package Ben Wadaman, including the board. But into the parliament, all this information they don't want to give it to us. Why am I running away ahead of myself? Into my phone. No one ye be and we. I bring you put what you are fan or Yeduma. Second, no one fan, man, no Baba Fana.
Different.
But I fan with Yanaka, we were bored. I want Yeduma.
Okay, in the only transparency on the recruitment side.
Yes,
family and friends.
I'm coming there.
And a conflict of
interest. Instead of family and friends in Libya, because the family member you wanna, the family member is senior minister.
The papa,
yes, into your family. The friend a deputy minister of finance. On Uncle Sawaka and a young Koyuko school, the classmate. Sunday on our cane, family and friends. They come out of Nayan. They come out of you. There, apart from all we've seen legal companies,
transaction
advisors, brokers, and all of that. We want to know the full list of them. All of them, they are full list. So far, the train now our document not done. We saw it on the document because it is not in the prospectus. So Yansanka prospectus, it is in the prospectus. So no companies been in. So company needing us this Africa Legal and associate we know the owner of the company is quite close to the government or is close to the government or will the substantial influence in this administration because of no relationship with the president or your loan or bianim since you now crab bonnet in the world on a crowd of a yes then me also now so Nunyanye offended finance minister the cousin so you pay you there fees now what the money is it at arm's length? Is it at arm's length? And it's a fair question. We want to know how much has gone to all of them. And we want to know internationally, when I weigh them transaction, how many percent would share on of the transaction cost. So we want to know the arm's length principle will apply to this now. Did he use his influence to get a job? And if he did, or affect another one.
It could see say on Asempa.
So fees, it's a major thing in games like this. Fees. And I'll give you an example, and that's where we are talking about them conflict of interest issues. See, Yawaha, our Minister of Finance, the company, Data Bank, and you there were your book runners. It was domestic bond the Ghana able issue. was also a transaction advisor with Eurobonds Ayakoina. And let me tell you, book runners here were for domestic bonds are issue. So far in the year 2019 alone, they issued bonds of 64 billion Ghana cedis, domestic bonds. 64 billion. Okay, one of the book runners. So okay, book runners we have the Minister of Finance or interest in that company. No, where your book runners. Into the more you borrow, no company when a percentage of the fees because what charge. Assuming they charge 2%, 1% or whatever 0.5% of that amount. Assuming they charge that much. Into the more they borrow, into not always on your fees, into about no motivating, more let's stop borrowing. And in the same vein, that he's working and he's getting fees. So let us know the relationship,
the details. No.
The details now, you go through me, then you find out today on your right, another on your right.
Honorable, because of time, I mean, we start this final question. Wow. All the questions are raised, very legitimate questions.
Agyapa FM.
Is it the case there when all the information you seek are provided to you, in principle, you are not against them arrangement here?
No.
There, the royalties, and for some period and all of that, no, you are not in principle against that arrangement. If all the information is provided to you.
Even before a bedrock conclusion, there you support it or you don't support it.
Okay. You need the information.
You need to know the value of the company. Ghana will be in your womb. Say Ghana you be a better offer, and supporter. You see the Ghana wants or a better offer, you will oppose it. So it has nothing to do with in principle or it has to do with Abadina Ghana Yedu Kofi.
Okay.
And we are saying that the Yedu Kofi on enough.
At least from what you know.
From what we know, because information on that about the man on firm hand. Only no young concern. Only your kade. Look. And members of the minority and then pay the leader of the minority, the Honorable Haruna Idris. Okay. Also, we are going to put the London Stock Exchange and now Financial Conduct Authority FCA UK on notice.
That
also there, the competition we are going to put them on notice. The young members of the minority, our Ghana Parliament, there were a lot of reservations on this agreement. We believe that there's substantial level of corruption in this matter.
Corruption?
Oh yes, he said it, and I'm reading the statement.
No, man can, but
yes, I'm telling you. As the conflict of interest is the basis of corruption, and I think the conflict of interest don't breed the corruption, Adam.
Yes, I know.
Yes, so that's what we are saying. We say there's substantial. We are also saying that based on what we've seen, transparency, why the indecent haste to the extent today? Ghana ban. Yawaha Sekeya
Agyapa.
Me document them Adenage Academy. Obi, and you made a document of a parliament. President Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo. Oma oye offending executive approval that don't from the parliament on the 24th of March. That around the same time in a Attorney General was in there, the deal is unquestionable. So on whose advice in a president or executive approval? At the time, no one executive approval don't come from parliament, Ni Nankasani Attorney General, government of Ghana's lawyer, will criticize the agreement.
It could see saying on
based on the information available to her at the time.
Of course. So
but it's been proven subsequently.
No, even before you go there. I'm telling you. Then look at the dates carefully.
Yes.
Date now on normal executive approval and an age, will criticize agreement. In some didn't say one trend money age, one satisfied, no one son one my parliament 1 year. He's bent on getting it done.
But at the time when he gave the executive approval, say Wamba Parliament, Obeya.
Wamba Parliament, Parliament. At that time, on any basis, now you amend the law.
Okay, only for the amendment.
For the amendment, it's mainly for this to go through. Only amendment, only and a care in Parliament. Then yesterday work out. One of our major reasons to close in there. Them idea you can once me. Because this amendment agreement cannot be valid. And you cannot approve an agreement another president on signing Brana or be using but I care McKay, but the point there, if the president was in an indecent haste as you claim
And why the amendment no all assent to
because one from parliament, one from command. No, amendment no why no. Man parliament why mark and why wadakwa.
One friend quite
no quite as we are speaking. So the president opened so Obabutala and cabinet one my trend now all assent we and sana. One from command assent we
agreement.
And some of the agreement number. Why the haste? Why? Abedintra.
Honorable, over there, Yeshena Yedi C. Final question I need to sound there. And the National Communications Officer of your party was here. Now, okay, they are sending a warning around to investors around the world. That no investor should invest in this thing when it's finally listed, because a new government under the NDC would not honor one responsibility as far as this whole transaction is concerned. Them decision the way taker.
I'm there. Yeah, kind of clear. How about in say that we are going to put the financial of an FCA
on notice
and a stock exchange on notice. Yeah, catch on there. Your reservations on this agreement, and particularly the relationship agreement now on my government of Ghana. Your relationship with the investors, and we are going to review that agreement. In fact, we've said that we will not respect it.
You will not respect the relationship agreement.
No, the entire agreement. Our friend has said this. I didn't say.
Martin.
Yes. What can the say on? No. That is NDC's position. That's NDC. I mean, we are going to put them on notice. It's not petition. No. We are not going to petition them on anything. No. We are telling them what is going to happen.
If by the end of by the time we have elections, now all the information that we boost and what they wanna obey then.
Now ban waka choro de ba.
No, me boost so ye.
On from the inside the mon from dance and they hwe do wom. I don't can't because you don't so far anymore. And look at some Joe. Sadi walk ahead the way it is. That's one lister. All surprise them will be your oversubscription. Not because the structure is good, but because it's the you're so juicy. The investor there or pentemwa or the return on investment are big.
So why don't you support it? Because then Ghana, then Ghana with 51% majority shareholding would benefit more.
Oh, now 49% na yeda kwachen no cheri sika yeda kwachu.
No, I don't is going to raise. You find members for them. So you find the 49% at the right valuation, or worth for 2 million.
Yes. Okay, no, let's even use at the right valuation or worth for 1 million.
Yes.
Now with the less valuation or worth for 500,000. For 500,000.
Yeah.
They lose a
They lose 500,000. As far as the valuation is concerned,
yes. You've lost it.
But that might not be the final valuation.
But what again? What other valuation? Because we scale 1% now constant or cost or what there. So so you've just lost money. Your 51% is constant.
No, make the CCR base them calculation on government so-called valuation 1 billion.
Yes.
I want to say so value the year power we should be hitting around 2 billion.
Correct.
You understand?
Yes.
If government should tell you the valuation was an initial, I feel we had a real valuation neighbor, and that would appear in the prospectus.
Abandoning country and the man customer abandoning country. Abandoning 1 billion. If I cement try.
No, Mr. Prospectus on bay.
Abandoning why you know for me. Us in our draft version will be no valuation on 1 billion. This is the document to Parliament. We are talking about specifics. So what the if I don't have a Parliament in there 500 million Ghana binya. Now never know on 1 billion. Many if another when. What he has firmed up
when the prospectus is completed.
Yes.
Now what about Parliament? Now valuation assessment or there.
No better assessment. Only can source and the value we. Only can trade.
What don't concern. The calculation now, but that's the way we look at your calculation. We think it makes sense.
So it's one country here now. And sana wako. One country here now. Minia, I don't know you. Here, Mr. Don Agyapa Royalties.
Agyapa FM.
Honorable Enyima, I wish we could continue, but I think so far you cover all the major issues.
At least understanding.
Yes.
It's a kind of the bits that also might not work it out. You have a fair idea. It's the basis I work out. You so can work out. Your responsibilities. And you cry no. We have to safeguard the public purse.
The public purse.
That is our responsibility.
God bless you. That's the ranking member on the Finance Committee in Ghana's Parliament, the Honorable Cassiel Ato Forson and Moten can I see say so about from the Muntia way and Mamma Yaba a chance also to have the Martinenka honorable Ben Aye about the cancer and then I have a surprise.